In addition to wrapping up Deputy Chief Reed's threat against Sean Hattasey Voight, Jason Beghe, and the rest of intelligence, the last hour of Chicago PD Season 12 is a mixed bag of emotions. He was the only villain to successfully shut down the Chicago Police Intelligence Unit in Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 21. In order to regain their unit and their positions, Voight and his crew had to work in the background. Ruseek, Patrick John Flueger, and Burgess, Marina Scortiati, had to decide how to handle their wedding in the meantime. Although they first put it off, pictures from the Chicago Police Department Season 12 finale made it obvious they will get married. It didn't seem appropriate to rejoice at such a difficult moment. Now, all eyes are on Chicago Police Department Season 13, which premieres in the fall of 2025, and what the Season 12 conclusion signifies. Intelligence kept encountering obstacles when they attempted to resolve the matter informally. Ruseek and Burgess made the decision to go to the safe house where Jesus Otero's son was being held, before to his passing. Reed killed Jesus during the penultimate hour because he dared to criticize what he was doing, and now his son Rennie is in hot water. The visit to the safe house did provide intelligence with a lead, since it turned out that a police officer had shown up. The squad was able to obtain a weapon that had been in the possession of several people, including a police officer named Caldera, since another man broke into the safe house. After further investigation, it was quickly discovered that this police officer was the object of several civil lawsuits and that Reed chose him because of his financial need. But Voight crashed the car they were in before Caldera could accept a bargain he was offering, and intelligence felt like they were back at stage 1. The man shared Reed's viewpoint as well, thus in a sense both characters were correct. Since the legal system was ineffective, they were merely attempting to clean up the streets as best they could. Voight couldn't tolerate the fact that they were obviously doing it incorrectly. However, the criminal was killed before Caldera could accept the offer made by Voight. On the morning of Voight's hearing with Internal Affairs, Rennie leaped out and shot Reed, striking him in the neck. Voight remained with Reed as if to assist him. In actuality, though, the entire episode was staged, with the head of the intelligence unit initiating it. Ruseek notes that Burgess acted too hastily in postponing the wedding, and that Reed has now been defeated, albeit not as anyone had anticipated. He understood that things always worked out for them, but he was glad to do it if that made Burgess feel at ease. We saw the church crowded with people as they proceeded with the wedding. After everything that had transpired, Torres, Benjamin Levy Aguilar, even entered the church, appearing to be a little more at peace with it. Many of us were hoping for specific cameos from former Chicago Police Department cast members, such as Antonio Dawson, John Setta, but none of them appeared. However, Mouch, Christian Stolt, made an appearance from another One Chicago World Series, attending Trudy's Amy Morton wedding, which made perfect sense given that they were already married. Since many Chicago Police Department marriages have taken place off-screen, like the one in which Halstead, Jesse Lee Soffer, and Upton, Tracy Spiritakos, got married without even notifying anyone in intelligence, it was a fantastic opportunity to celebrate the wedding. ASA Chapman, Sarah Buse, and Voight sat next to one another, but it's obvious that after the Chicago PD Season 12 finale, their relationship will never be the same. Chapman admits that she is upset because she's aware of what Voight did to defeat Reed. This demonstrates Voight's resistance to change, even for herself. Because Reed's death at Rennie's hands was so perfectly timed and orchestrated, the intelligence team's faces immediately revealed that their boss was somehow involved. They were all willing to ignore it, though, because they knew Voight and were tired of Reed making decisions. For ASA Chapman, the same cannot be true. She had previously acknowledged her emotions for Voight in Chicago PD Season 12, and during this effort to kill Reed, the two talked about their pasts, with Voight revealing that he hasn't been interested in moving on from his late wife. Voight promised to try to become a better cop, but Chapman is aware of the kind of old-fashioned cop he is. As Chapman searched for proof against Reed, she could now focus on Voight to put a stop to his career because of what he had done. That hasn't occurred, though, and Chapman can clearly see that Voight will always take the necessary precautions to keep himself and his crew safe. Knowing that Rennie would probably assemble other drug dealers to assist him in killing Reed in retaliation, She deduced that Voight had allowed him to leave the safe house and informed him about Reed's murder of Jesus. There may be worries that it will have an impact on Voight's future in Chicago PD Season 13, but Chapman cannot support that, and it appears that any hints of a romance are now ended. As Chapman searched for proof against Reed, she could now focus on Voight to put a stop to his career because of what he had done. In the Chicago Police Department Season 12 finale, getting Burgess and Torres back on the team was just as important as taking down Reed. Torres had also been arrested for his involvement with Gloria, and Burgess had lost her job. Ultimately, both were able to regain their employment. When Reed was exposed as a corrupt police officer, the entire team is able to return to work immediately in Chicago Police Department Season 13. In addition to handling the cases that are brought before them, they will be able to handle any threats that may be directed towards them in the future. A new deputy chief will also need to be introduced in the upcoming season. Hopefully, this person will support intelligence rather than cause issues. In the conclusion, he inhaled deeply as he entered the church, seemingly feeling as though God had returned to his side. After being incarcerated for a while, Torres seems to be in a better place. In the conclusion, he inhaled deeply as he entered the church, seemingly feeling as though God had returned to his side. He restored his confidence in God, and it is probable that he will sleep better and be more attentive to his work in the upcoming season. The rest of the season set things up for Cook, Toya Turner, even though the conclusion didn't. She finds it difficult to balance working with both sides of her family. Cook's mother called her the last time we saw her personally, expressing her desire to utilize her daughter's position to further her own political career. Chicago Police Department Season 12 should delve more into this topic.